surface. We have the front, a stationary front. It's not moving anywhere. And when you have that this time of year, sometimes a little wave along it is enough to start an area low pressure. That's what we think is going to happen. It's going to move off to the north. Now models continue to kind of show us something, but now it's degrees of intensity. One model a little bit weaker and further off the coast, and one a little bit stronger and getting pulled in a little bit closer. So that is definitely something that we're watching. Regardless of whether it's tropical, whether it's deemed subtropical, we do think that there's going to be a wind component here, and perhaps winds that are greater than 20 miles per hour. So if you're a boater, that obviously is impacting you. If you are going to be along the coast, that's going to be impacting you with enhanced rip current risk as well as higher surf. And you can see that is a situation from Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday at the very least. So Charleston, heads up for you. Watching it. We'll be right back.
Nexium 24-hour. It's the purple pill. The #1 prescribed acid-blocking brand, available without a prescription for frequent heartburn. Get complete protection. Nexium Level Protection.
Well, sir, after some serious consideration, I'd like to put in my 15-year notice.
You're quitting?
Technically retiring, sir. With a little help from my State Farm agent, I plan to retire in 15 years.
Wow, you're totally blindsiding me here. Who's going to manage your accounts? This is a devastating blow I was not prepared for.
Well, I'm going to finish packing my things. 15 years will really sneak up on you.
Jennifer will do your exit interview, and Adam made you a cake.
Red velvet.
Oh, thank you.
I made this.
Take charge of your retirement. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
True Green presents the Yardleys.
Dad!
Sorry. Spring is on. Start your True Green lawn plan today. True Green. Live life outside.
When our little girl was born, we got a Subaru. It's where she said her first word.
No!
Saw her first day of school.
Bye-bye.
Made a best friend forever.
Oh my God!
The back seat of my Subaru is where she grew up.
What?
The 2015 Subaru Forester.
What?
Built to be there for your family. Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Working on my feet all day gave me pain here.
In my knees.
But now, I step on this machine and get my number, which matches my Dr. Scholl's custom-fit orthotic inserts. Now I get immediate relief from my foot pain.
My knee pain.
Find a machine at drscholls.com.
My husband said, "You're beautiful and I love you, but I'm worried about your health and your weight. I'm worried we're going to lose you." That was my moment.
When your moment comes, you can count, track, and worry over every meal. Or you can lose weight simply with Jenny Craig. Just walk in or call. Meet your own personal consultant who'll help turn your moment into the best summer ever. Pick from our all-new spring menu and start losing now. Don't wait. Join free plus $50 in food savings.
A moment can change your whole life with Jenny Craig.
In a matter of seconds, your life can change.
When kids still went to school.
And it just hit us.
This was it.
The Weather Channel's most watched original program is back.
Things were just going everywhere. It was a nightmare. And then it was silent.
This is just the beginning of what's to come.
Let's take you out of this world to the International Space Station and a sunrise from space. You know they can't hear you scream in space?
I knew that. Thanks for the reminder. But
if you were in space with me, you'd probably scream,
take me back, take me back. But this is via Twitter from Astro Terry, who is aboard the ISS, and he gets to see a sunrise, every hour and a half or so. But always awesome, always awesome. And that got us thinking about some beautiful Earth-side sunrises, because it's one of my favorite times of day is sunrise. Although I spent it here with you in the dark with no windows.
Wow. So I ruined it for you.
No, you know what I do? I look at webcams of sunrises.
That's
and
how you cope.
That's how I cope. And I always love checking in with the Great Smoky Mountain National Park webcam. And it looks like fireworks. And I say, oh, it must be great to be outside with windows.
But I'm here in a windowless room with Paul. Oh, help me.
Look at this. This is so great. This is from Ed the Clam and from South Palm, Florida.
I didn't know clams had a Twitter account, but apparently they do.
Then he smiles all the time. It's great.
And hey, Jacksonville, North Carolina. Yeah, there's a Jacksonville, North Carolina too, as well as Florida. Beautiful sunrise there this morning. And again, just a few clouds out there. You're in store for a gorgeous day across much North Carolina. Temperatures already in the 70s in some locations.
And what makes sunrises and sunsets, for that matter, so great is that you have the sun low in the sky, and so all that light travels through a lot of atmosphere, and that changes the colors.
I know yesterday we were talking about the royal baby.
Yes, we were.
Today we're talking about the royal baby mama.
Right.
Kate, you were talking about it this morning.
I was.
And there's a lot of hate going on with Kate. Because Kate went out there, you know, hours after dropping a kid.
Looking flawless
looking
and fabulous.
fantastic.
And the baby's
She's raised the bar.
She has. But she went right home. So my guess is she put her comfy pants on like everybody else.
Congratulations.
We do. All right. Here's the parade out of Breaux Bridge, Louisiana. We're back.
14 clubs. That's what they tell us a legal golf bag can hold. And while that leaves a little room for balls and tees, it doesn't leave room for much else. There's no room left for deadlines or conference calls. Not a single pocket to hold the stress of the day or the to-do list of tomorrow. Only 14 clubs. Pick out the right one and drive it right down the middle of pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
This Master Blast is delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you wearing that sash?
Because I'm a Blast Scout, Pete.
I don't know what that is.
We're dedicated to the enjoyment of blasts.
So those are patches for different things?
They represent different blasts. This is a waffleberry brownie.
What's that one for?
That's strawberry pucker pie.
What's that one?
Oh, that's a banana bobana crumble.
And what's that one for?
That one's covering up a hole.
Tons of surprising Master Blast flavor combos you're sure to love. Scouts Honor. And don't forget our half-price shakes after 8 p.m. This is how you Sonic.
The termite swarm has come. Enter the legions of Terminix with 85 years of experience and the strongest guarantee in the business. Sorry, termites, we got our swarm of our own. Not here, not now, not in my house. Terminix.
True Green presents the Yardleys.
Sorry.
Spring is on. Start your True Green lawn plan today. True Green. Live life outside.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, partly cloudy, high 79. Winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, some clouds, low 70. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Monday, sunshine and clouds mixed, high 81. Winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Hey there, a good Sunday morning to you, and welcome to Weekend Recharge. I'm Paul Goodlow.
And I'm Maria LaRosa. Another hour of Weekend Recharge means another hour for you to just kind of unplug, get lost in the weather. Lots of things to get you caught up on. So no distractions. Set it aside. Yeah.
And we show them the door.
Yeah, just for a little bit. Just for a little bit. Put it aside.
To the side. Unplug. Recharge with us here on this morning because we have a lot to talk about.
We absolutely do. And of course, our It's Amazing Out There spring tour is underway. We'll check in about that. But also, the forecast models are not backing down from the possibility of a tropical system forming off the southeast coast. We'll learn how soon Anna could be named, who could see the impacts, and what those impacts will be.
That is the sound of hail impacting the windshield there, and that means our severe weather threat is also expanding and increasing as we head throughout this first week of May. Hail, damaging winds won't be the only threats either. Up next, where torcons of 3 and 4 are already posted.
And we bring you to Breaux Bridge, Louisiana, where the parade is underway. Of course, the big crawfish festival going on this weekend, and now this is culminating in this wonderful tradition of the parade. And we're going to check in with Reynolds Wolf and Kate Parker, who are there, I'm sure, as Spectators enjoying the spectacle that's going on right now, and you can see the sunshine right there. So happy to report the weather's holding on, but we want to give you a snapshot of some of the other big stories that we'll be talking about here in the next hour of Weekend Recharge and what we'll be covering for the next few days, as a matter of fact. Talking about the first taste of summer, that area in orange from the Midwest all the way into the Northeast. Finally talking about a pretty consecutive days here, consecutive days of temperatures that are warm, at least above average. Also keeping an eye on that severe threat, and yeah, it's not too early to talk about the tropics. We're going to be really going in depth in just a second. I want to go in depth with the setup for the severe weather because this looks familiar, right? We have it going to be there for the next few days, and so that means several rounds of severe weather. Starts today in Eau Claire down to Goodland. Primary threat being damaging winds and hail. Also that for tomorrow, but all the way into Chicago, Indianapolis, you're on the map as well, and then back through Texas. Tuesday, we are now in through the Central Plains, western Nebraska down into West Texas, all the way from Goodland to San Angelo, Fort Stockton. And here, again, we'll be talking about the Torcon. So more details about that in just a few minutes. But Paul, you have updates on the potential tropical trouble.
Definitely. Take a live look now in the Bahamas, Calypso Beach in the Bahamas. I hear it's better in the Bahamas. The weather better today and maybe tomorrow for the central northern Bahamas. Eventually that will change because we're tracking the tropics. This is what key was that? This is Elbow Key, Hopetown. Again, by the way, Hopetown, no motorized vehicles in that town, so great for pedestrians to move around. And let me show you where Hope Key is, because it's definitely the concern, Hopetown in Elbow Key, I should say. It's on the east side of Abaco Island here in the Bahamas. So we're watching a cold front push through. It's going to stall out. We're going to see all this tropical moisture feed into a developing surface low, and that low eventually moving back across the central and northern Bahamas and kind of festering out here across the Atlantic. The question is, how strong will this low get, and then where will it move? So to answer those questions, we look at our long-range tropical models. Well, the European model, well, that also brings it across the Bahamas, then kind of festers it, and moderate low, not super strong, maybe strong enough for a name, and then brings it closer to North Carolina on Saturday. Not making landfall, but closer to North Carolina on Saturday. The American model, the GFS model, also picks up on a low, kind of festers it here, and also tends to make it a little bit stronger at times than the European, and then kind of drifts it back towards the west, towards the Florida and Georgia coastline as well. So a lot of uncertainty is still out there. And again, this is not rare. We've had named systems before in May. The last time was 3 years ago. We had 2 storms that year to start off the season. And by the way, we average a May storm, named storm, once every 3 years. So again, right on time, you know, 2012, 3 years later, 2015, we have it. 2012, very active year. Hurricanes Isaac and Sandy. This does not mean there's no correlation between an early season storm and an active season, but it drives home the point we have to be ready all the time along the coast.
And I know we're all looking at the information coming in from the computer models. We certainly know that the National Weather Service, especially along the coastlines, are definitely doing that. So we want to check in now with Ron Morales with the National Weather Service in Charleston, South Carolina.
And good morning, Ron. And the National Hurricane Center just came out with the outlook, giving this thing now a 30% chance of some development later on this week. Is that changing your forecast at all?
Yeah, good morning, guys. Well, not really. It just sort of goes in line with, I guess, most of the National Weather Service offices across the coastline are doing in the southeast United States anyway. But it does give an official sort of stance, and I think it gets a lot more visibility when it comes from the National Hurricane Center. But we are watching a storm that is going to potentially develop sometime late Tuesday, early Wednesday, and move very slowly northward, possibly off the southeast coast somewhere of the United States.
I know we've been stressing here at the Weather Channel, I'm certain that you guys are as well, that whether or not this thing is officially tropical or not, there are going to be some real impacts that folks along the coastline are going to feel. What are your big concerns outside of whether this actually gets a name or not?
Yeah, our big concerns right now with any development with such a system would be mainly right along the coast with enhanced rip current risk, increased tides potentially, and as well as some high surf. And depending on where it actually goes, could be some bands of rainfall, too. That's a little early to tell, but that would be the other thing we'd worry about.
Okay. Ron Morales, as always, thanks again so much for taking time with us this morning, giving your insight and how the National Weather Service will be looking at this over the next few days, too.
Yeah, as Ron said, the important thing is we will have some impacts across the southeastern. Stay tuned for the latest details.
All right. Coming up, our colleagues Reynolds Wolf and Kate Parker on the road this morning.
And back there in South Central Louisiana for the It's Amazing Out There Spring Tour. Good morning, guys.
Hey, good morning. It's parade time.
It's parade time.
Come on, beads.
We're catching our beads. Mine.
That's hers. More? I got you. Here we
got
go.
one.
It's a
hey,
great
we're going
time.
to bring you to the Crawfish Festival Parade when we come back.
This program powered by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.
In a work world, take time for Sunday. Just know that your truck has a little thing for Monday.
Now at Boston Market, new slow braised pulled pork. So tender, it falls apart. Topped with zesty barbecue or garlic citrus sauce. A bold new taste from the slow roasting experts at Boston Market.
He says she's an undisciplined overwaterer. She claims he's a cruel underwaterer. With Miracle Grow Moisture Control Potting Mix, plants only get water when they need it. Fight ended or shifted. Miracle Grow. Life starts here.
Your heart is precious. One of many ways to support its health is new True Heart from One A Day. It's the only heart health supplement with ingredients to both help lower bad cholesterol and support healthy blood pressure, and also includes CoQ10. Try new True Heart.
True Green presents the Yardleys.
Sorry.
This is more than a lawn. This is a True Green lawn. Live life outside with True Green, America's #1 lawn care company. Spring is on. Start your True Green lawn plan today. True Green, live life outside.
We all enter this world with a shout. Robert! And we see no reason to stop. So CVS Health is creating industry-leading programs and tools that help people stay on medicines as their doctors prescribed. It could help save tens of thousands of lives every year. And that would be something worth shouting about. CVS Health, because health is everything.
Fresher dentures for the best first impression. Love loud, live loud. Polident. Fresher dentures for those breathless moments. Hug loud, live loud. Polident.
The Weather Channel's most watched original program,
And it just hit us.
is back.
This is just the beginning of what's to come.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 79. Winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy intervals. Low 70. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Monday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High 81. Winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
I'm Sam. Jim's here as well this morning.
We're all in this together.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
That was good.
And if you're watching AMHQ, then you know we got you up and out this morning. We love to see your pictures. All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well.
It is amazing out there. We can't say that enough, especially in the southeast. Weather's absolutely spectacular. Look at that Kill Devil Hill shot in your upper left corner there. Charleston, not too shabby either. Stunning, stunning. Tybee Island looking good. People heading to the beach.
And then Miami Beach.
Hey,
look at the
that
clouds.
looks like a postcard.
There. I know. Snap, snap. Just enjoy. Is it Miami or is it Fort Lauderdale? Either way, it's a gorgeous part of the country. Get down there and enjoy it. Maybe, might enjoy it more in January if you're in New England. But still, the Southeast is a place that you have a gorgeous weekend, but we also have to look out for, things changing as we head later this week.
Right. It's not too early in the season, so we kind of want to play it out for you. We don't want to, cut short your enjoyment of what will be a really nice sunny stretch for the Southeast, but we do have a couple of heads up for you. But let's start with the nice, the comfy, low humidity, relatively speaking, and dry, rain-free. It seems like it's been a while for a nice solid weekend from New Orleans to Atlanta, but it looks like we're going to get it in Atlanta. You can see maybe a spotty chance of a shower or thunderstorm in New Orleans for tomorrow, but the gist is today, tomorrow, even into Tuesday, bright sunshine icons on the map. And look at these temperatures. They're going up into the mid and upper 80s from Tallahassee, Raleigh, Atlanta, Memphis as well, and even New Orleans getting into the lower 80s. So very, very comfortable. Dry week ahead before ... question mark. And that question mark, as you might have guessed, with looking at a city like Charleston, South Carolina, along the southeast coast, is indeed what will be unfolding when it comes to that tropical system or subtropical or whatever it ends up being. But you have the showers and thunderstorms. We're putting it in the forecast because we've got to keep an eye on this. Here it goes. We think, because the models are definitely continuing to lock on to something developing around the Bahamas and then lifting northward into the middle part of the next week, and then late in the week getting a little bit closer to the southeast coast. Could it be a stronger low? Well, there's a model that is certainly hinting at that, as we've been saying even since yesterday, really, that there will be some impacts, perhaps rip currents and rough surf. So we'll keep an eye on it.
Stay tuned for latest developments. Well, Kate Parker and Reynolds Wolf, their road trip finally comes to an end today.
And this morning, the last stop is in Breaux Bridge, Louisiana, where they're enjoying the annual Crawfish Festival going on this weekend. And I hear there's a little parade going on right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Kate.
Look, hey, woo!
We learned something today. We learned that the great people of Louisiana like to throw things at people.
Yeah.
They really do. Namely this stuff. Hey, bring it. Oh my goodness, the riches. Oh, the humanity. Unbelievable.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, good people.
Okay, so Breaux Bridge, Louisiana.
Yes.
I bet you didn't know that this place had an awesome crawfish festival, or that 90% of the crawfish in the world come from Louisiana.
Yeah, you might not realize this, but they tend to be what we would refer to as being a little festive.
A little festive. You know, the Cajun culture is incredible. They've welcomed us with open arms as we've gone on this road trip from Natchez, Mississippi, on down to Breaux Bridge, Louisiana.
Yeah, we got a chance to actually enjoy the swamp, our nation's largest swamp, the Atchafalaya Swamp. Larger than the state of Rhode Island, about 30% beautiful water and wonderful cypress trees, the rest 70% land. Can't see all of it in a lifetime, but we did the very best we could.
We did the best we could. Now we're getting to wrap up our tour here in Breaux Bridge, Louisiana at the Crawfish Festival. Hence the little pinchers here. Crawfish are little tiny crustaceans, if you didn't know.
Freshwater. There's so many varieties of them. And they're just delicious. Delicious sights we're seeing right now. Beautiful festive time that we're having here for the parade. Unbelievable.
Look at these dancers. How
Unbelievable.
Reynolds is going to do a dance for us, y'all.
Shower time, sure.
Hey, we don't know if it's back to Paul Maria yet or not. We can't hear you guys, but we love you guys.
There are some things you can't unsee in life. There's just something.
Goodness.
No, that's awesome. They're having a good time. The weather's beautiful. Why not? Reynolds Wolf, by the way, pulling out all the good moves for weekend recharge. We'll be right back.
Can a protein originally found in a jellyfish improve your memory? Our scientists say yes. Researchers have discovered a protein that actually supports healthier brain function. It's the breakthrough in a supplement called Prevagen. As we age, we lose proteins that support our brain. Prevagen supplements these proteins and has been clinically shown to improve memory. It's safe and effective. For support of healthier brain function, a sharper mind, and clearer thinking, try Prevagen for yourself today.
High-performance car, but still driving with indoor glasses? Xperio UV superior polarized sun lenses eliminate 100% of blinding reflective glare and offer the maximum UV protection. Ask for Xperio UV superior polarized sun lenses for the best vision under the sun.
Why do we do it? Why do we spend every waking moment thinking about people? Why are we so committed to keeping you connected? Why combine performance with a conscience? Why innovate for a future without accidents? Why do any of it? Why do all of it? Because if it matters to you, it's everything to us. The XC60 crossover from Volvo.
I know, I used 3 strips of tape. Gorilla Packaging Tape. Of course.
Gorilla Packaging Tape is 2 times thicker and 50% wider to hold with just 1 strip for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Be one with it, and it will be one with you. Be one with your tires, and the road will be one with you. Hangup Tires.
If you take multiple medications, a dry mouth can be a common side effect. That's why there's Biotene. It comes in oral rinse, spray, or gel, so there's moisturizing relief for everyone. Biotene, for people who suffer from a dry mouth.
Today, hair is a beautiful thing.
Hey, Mom. Hey, sweetie. Hey, honey. Hey, Mom.
Because today there will be no tangles, with all the latest cleaning technology for your home at low prices you can trust.
Oh.
Does Mommy need a haircut?
Check with Daddy. The new Eureka self-cleaning brush roll, exclusively at Walmart.
Where you get your weather matters.
This is a large and dangerous tornado.
Real local. We are live in Oklahoma. Real accurate.
This one's going to have some precipitation with it.
Real experts.
Wow, that's the leading edge of the thunderstorm.
This is basically what makes the Weather Channel
Keep the Weather Channel on. Here at the Weather Channel.
The Weather Channel is out in full force today. Only the Weather Channel.
For diarrhea, you take Kaopectate. But for heartburn, gas, indigestion, upset stomach, or nausea, you also take Kaopectate. Kaopectate relieves diarrhea and soothes your stomach for relief of all those symptoms. Kaopectate, one and done.
When you're diabetic, one of the important things about keeping yourself healthy is keeping your skin hydrated.
Gold Bond Diabetics Dry Skin Relief. 9 out of 10 saw noticeable improvement in just 1 hour. Dry skin is under control.
Gold Bond really works.
Hero Ball. Witness the reinvention. True Hero Ball is the game played at its best. Sharing passion, vision, and the ball. Being there for your team because you practiced and you promised. Get ready for Hero Ball. It's the NBA playoffs on TNT.
Brought to you locally by City Furniture. Shop online anytime at cityfurniture.com.
All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. We love to see your pictures. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well right here on AMHQ.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 79. Winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy intervals. Low 70. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Monday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High 81. Winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Time for your Techno Sunday morning. Good morning, Dallas, Texas. 72 degrees already. We're going to enjoy some dry weather. Enjoy it because it's May and storms are right around the corner.
But boy, it looks great right now. 72 degrees out there, and you've got those bluebird skies. So I want you to enjoy it. But it's time now for your 7-day stretch. And this is the time where we take a lot of time to help you plan the rest of your weekend, in this case, winding down, and get you recharged for the week ahead.
As Sunday, today we're dealing with some areas in red for severe weather. Main risk will be some hail and damaging wind. Can't rule out tornadoes, but the bigger threat, widespread wind and hail damage stretching from areas of Wisconsin, even the UP of Michigan, western UP, all the way into areas of even Kansas City and maybe even Wichita, Kansas.
If you're watching us from Atlanta to New York, wait till noon. No, 12:30 because Weather Geeks is on.
There we go.
And then go out and enjoy it. Really spectacular. 80 degrees in Atlanta, 76 in New York today.
Again, a lot of people traveling on Sunday and Monday, so definitely some bumpy skies in the afternoon. Let's move towards Monday. Some of the same real estate now in red for strong and severe thunderstorms and also impacting some major hubs. Talking about Chicago could see some delays for your Monday flights.
And that's really a key part of it, right? And so you want to be prepared out on the roadways too, because Chicago, that rain may be coming in time for your morning drive. Meanwhile, the Four Corners, the Sierra Nevada, a little active here too over the next few days. Happy to report that. We'll take it for sure. But notice the big cool down. Phoenix, after hitting your first 100 of the season last week, you're down to the mid 80s here by tomorrow.
Speaking 80s, close to that in Boston. Not bad at all. But we move on towards Tuesday. We still have a risk of thunderstorms all across the middle of the nation. In fact, Carl Parker has more on that severe weather threat.
We expect to see some fairly strong storms developing on Tuesday across the western high plains. We're talking about western Texas, western Oklahoma, and also western Kansas. In those areas, there's going to be a lot of available energy for storms, and stronger winds aloft will be coming in. And that's going to mean wind shear and rotating storms, possibly tornadoes developing along the dry line there as an upper low comes in. So fairly active day in those areas. Back to you.
That's a good heads up. All right, let's take you from Tuesday into Wednesday, because Wednesday's also looking to be pretty active here, and you've got that kind of classic tornado alley going from Texas all the way on up to the Dakotas.
And temperatures on the way up as well. Chicago pushing towards 80 again as we head towards Wednesday. Atlanta in the 80s on Wednesday as well, and also the New York area, 73 degrees. We'll stay in the 70s, even in Boston, not bad at all. We head to a Thursday, we're still stuck in the 70s here, which is a good place to be in Boston after this winter.
But you're feeling like a broken record when we're talking about storms across the Central Plains and the West. How about you, Denver? We've got them back in your forecast. Let's take you there live now. Looking pretty, that's for sure. 65 degrees out there right now, but we've got the showers and the thunderstorms in there for you as early as Thursday. It looks like even on into Friday.
Let's move on into Friday across the nation. We're still looking at some scattered showers and thunderstorms in the middle of the country. Talking about areas of the Missouri and the Mississippi River Valley all the way down towards Texas. Better chance of storms anytime, say, after 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon through the nighttime hours.
Yeah, and maybe some rain, snow for the Sierra Mountains here on Friday. That continues there. The Great Basin active too. Notice the northern tier, Minneapolis. Looks like a nice day for you, 71.
Let's take you on towards the beginning of next weekend, next Saturday. Still enjoying some dry weather across much of the southeast. We're also watching to see what could happen with whatever could develop here in the Atlantic. Could it be Florida? Could it be the Carolinas? Again, jury's still out on that, but we have a close eye throughout the week on that.
And one spot looking good for Saturday is Pittsburgh. Let's take you there live. One spot in the Northeast too. Looking good now for that matter. Actually, this looks like Minneapolis for you, but regardless, Weekend Recharge returns right after your local on the 8s.
Thank you for being a sailor and my daddy. Thank you, Mom, for protecting my future.
Thank you for being my hero and my dad.
Military families are thankful for many things. The legacy of USAA Auto Insurance could be one of them. Our world-class service earned USAA the top spot in a study of the most recommended large companies in America. If you're current or former military or their family, see if you're eligible to get an auto insurance quote.
Lowe's presents how to get inside someone's head.
I love the wicker.
I'd prefer the wood finish.
Green feels right.
Has to be blue.
2 seats is perfect.
3 seats would be better.
Those cushions really match your dress.
So, the other one then?
Let's get this one. What are you thinking?
Nothing.
Now get the Pagosa Springs patio set for $98 at Lowe's, where your style comes together.
Advanced design makes it easy to protect your dog or cat from fleas and ticks. Discover Seresto. With the performance you expect from topicals in a non-greasy collar, Seresto provides protection against fleas and ticks for 8 months. Seresto.
If you misplaced your Discover card, you can now use Freeze It to prevent new purchases on your account in seconds. And once you find it, you can switch it right on again.
You're back.
Freeze It, only from Discover. Get it at discover.com.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
When a moment spontaneously turns romantic, why pause to take a pill? And why stop what you're doing to find a bathroom? With Cialis for daily use, you don't have to plan around either. It's the only daily tablet approved to treat erectile dysfunction, so you can be ready anytime the moment is right. Plus, Cialis treats the frustrating urinary symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently, day or night. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any symptoms of an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Why pause the moment? Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use. For a free 30-tablet trial, go to Cialis.com.
Where you get your weather matters.
This is a large and dangerous tornado.
That's why we get real local the moment you need it.
We are live in Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Florida.
Real accurate.
This is round one of the severe storms that are coming through.
From real experts on the ground.
That is a gust front for you right there in Dusty, Texas. Wow.
Where you get your weather matters.
This is basically what makes the Weather Channel
Keep the Weather Channel on. Here at the Weather Channel.
The Weather Channel is out in full force today.
Only the Weather Channel.
I'm Sam. Jim's here as well this morning.
We're all in this together.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was good.
And if you're watching AMHQ, then you know we got you up and out this morning. We love to see your pictures. All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 79. Winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy intervals. Low 70. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Monday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High 81. Winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The Weather Channel's most watched original program,
And it just hit us.
is back.
This is just the beginning of what's to come.
It is 30 past the hour and you're watching Weekend Recharge. Glad you can join us on this Sunday. I'm Maria LaRosa.
And I'm Paul Goodlow. Well, as always on Weekend Recharge, we'd like to see how weather's impacting your community there at home, big and small. And one of the best ways to find that out is by checking the headlines of the local newspapers.
All right, here's one we found. They share a storyline. The Primrose, Nebraska tornado from 40 years ago. On the front page of the Columbus Telegram headline, it reads, "A night of death. The small town of Primrose, Nebraska nearly wiped out. 4 people lost their lives. In early May 1965, major severe weather outbreaks struck the central U.S. and there were 4 consecutive days of tornado outbreaks."
Yeah, and again, today's May 3rd, another anniversary of big storms that popped up in Oklahoma, May 3rd of 1999. And just telling Maria earlier, that was maybe 2 weeks working at the Weather Channel, and again, May, a very active month, and we could see more today.
Exactly, and that's one of the top 3 stories that we're following for you here on Weekend Recharge. Story number 1, though, we're going to start with that warmth, and it's spreading east. Some of us getting a taste of summer, which is okay by many, I'm sure, especially in these neck of the woods. Well above average in some cases. In Boston, you're headed up towards your first 70 of the year, first 70-degree high temperature since last October. So the core of that warmth is going to continue even on through tomorrow. Our story number 2, well, it's also going to feed the severe weather potential here, and the setup is going to be there for a couple days, and so we're going to watch the dry line be a factor, this boundary be a factor, but also the deep tropical moisture that's going to help feed the showers and the thunderstorms, and yes, some of those will be on the severe, and yes, we're looking at the potential for tornadoes. Now, talk about deep tropical moisture. It looks like we've got that in spades here. This is something that we continue to watch well into the middle part of next week. Something tropical developing. Certainly the models want to hang on to that. Paul, I know that you are continuing to look at that potential.
Yeah, for sure. In fact, first take a live look at Kings Wharf here at Port Bermuda in Bermuda, and that's a big old ship that's come into port here. You got to enjoy it. Look at the palm trees kind of waving in the breeze. It's sunny. It is mild. Temperature's about 70 degrees. We should have a fantastic day here. But the concern is what's brewing in the Atlantic, and will it be impacting Bermuda? It's a good chance it could give some impacts throughout this week, but we're more concerned about the immediate impacts across the southeastern U.S. Now, here's a scenario. Again, cold front pushes through, stalls out, plenty of moisture here in the tropics, and eventually we'll see a surface low develop. All the models are picking up on that for sure. But now this is where it gets kind of squirrely. As we head towards the middle and the end of next week, will this low get strong or stay weak? Will it move northward and keep moving northward, or will it move more towards the west and impact parts of the southeastern coastline? Let's see. Some models, again, the European model, also picks up to this low, but eventually kind of meanders west and then pushes it more towards the north, and it doesn't make it super strong as we head throughout this week. So by next Saturday, the European model brings it just off the North Carolina coastline, but definitely having some impacts on land because of this system. Now, the U.S. American model, the GFS model, also picks up on this, actually makes it a little bit stronger, drifts it north, and then pushes it a little bit more on towards the west, closer to the Georgia and Florida coastline, also as we head towards the latter part of next week as well. So definitely something we're worried about. And again, it's May. Hurricane season doesn't officially start until June 1st, but it is not unusual to actually have tropical activity in May. In fact, in May of 2012, last time we had storms, we had 2 storms that year, the Alberto as well as Beryl. And on average, we see a storm form in May once every 3 years. Last time was 2012. Now it's 2015. So right on cue, we've seen one pop up. And also, if you think about your history, 2012, Hurricane Isaac, and also Hurricane Sandy.
Wow.
But it doesn't mean we'll see storms like that just because we have activity in May. That's the key I want to get across.
Yeah, but it's definitely getting our attention. We'll keep an eye on it, of course. And, you know, all morning long, we've been keeping an eye on Reynolds and Kate. It's amazing out there, spring tour. They're making their last stop today in Louisiana for the annual Breaux Bridge Crawfish Festival.
And hey guys, I gotta say, our producer Lisa Watkins is saying that you guys didn't earn those beads. You didn't earn those beads, did you?
Paul, we know you're saying something, but we can't hear you, man. We just got this.
I don't know.
We have a fire truck?
Yeah, it was.
We're rich.
I don't know what
beads.
you said, but I do know how I feel, and I feel like Mr. T, my main man, Mr. T, wearing all the garb.
The riches of this festival.
Unbelievable. Yeah, we're Breaux Bridge, Louisiana for the Crawfish Festival. Here's the final stop of an amazing tour we've had. My goodness, the fire truck. Yes, the time-honored fire truck. You see them coming through. This one says
These
Midland,
nice firemen just were quiet for us so that we could show you what's actually going on here. Breaux Bridge, Louisiana. It is the Crawfish Festival, like Reynolds was just saying.
Amazing time. You know, we got things started back in Natchez with bronze matches, and it has been just a trail of fun that we've had all the way, just burning our way through parts of Mississippi and then back into beautiful Louisiana. Here you go. Man, just amazing. How you guys doing? All right, good time.
This is our big finale. I cannot say enough good things about the communities we've seen on this trip.
Yeah.
We started in Natchez, Mississippi.
Natchez.
It was a place of history and wonder and gorgeous. Then we went to the Atchafalaya Basin.
I know, unbelievable. The natural wonders that we experienced in the swamp. Cypress trees over 1,000 years old. Plenty of Spanish moss is amazing. We didn't do it alone. We Trish Ragsdale, our amazing producer. Trish Ragsdale, not sleep for like 5 days. Rodney Hall. Rodney. One of our photographers, Folks, again, if you have the opportunity, sometimes you're in Midland or maybe across the country, sometimes you stay on the street. The thing is, make the very most of it. Amazing restaurants. We've had samples of both Louisiana, Mississippi, and where it's on.
Yeah, brother from another mother. Wouldn't imagine it with anyone else, but man. That's the problem. We're in the studio.
They managed to get someone to shut down a fire truck so they could do that, and then managed to get someone to operate the camera. Rodney, the photographer.
Rodney, we got actually Brad Reynolds, who wasn't on TV. He's actually shooting.
That's right.
And our second photographer, Rodney, was there. Even Trish Ragsdale got on TV.
So fun.
This program powered by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.
In a work world, take time for Sunday. Just know that your truck has a little thing for Monday.
True Green presents the Yardleys.
Sorry.
Spring is on. Start your True Green lawn plan today. True Green. Live life outside.
Your heart is precious. One of many ways to support its health is new True Heart from One A Day. It's the only heart health supplement with ingredients to both help lower bad cholesterol and support healthy blood pressure, and also includes CoQ10. Try new True Heart.
Hurry! There's a hot offer for heartburn sufferers. Now try Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com. Hurry! It's free this week only. No pill relieves heartburn faster. Get Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com.
If you're an adult with type 2 diabetes and your A1C is not at goal with certain diabetes pills or daily insulin, your doctor may be talking about adding medication to help lower your A1C. Ask your doctor if adding once-a-week Tanzium is right for you. Once-a-week Tanzium is an injectable prescription medicine that may improve blood sugar in adults with type 2 diabetes, along with diet and exercise. Once-a-week Tanzium works by helping your body release its own natural insulin when it's needed. Tanzium is not recommended as the first medicine to treat diabetes or in people with severe stomach or intestinal problems. Tanzium is not insulin. It is not used to treat type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis and has not been studied with mealtime insulin. Do not take Tanzium if you or your family have a history of medullary thyroid cancer or multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you're allergic to Tanzium or any of its ingredients. Stop using Tanzium and call your doctor right away if you experience symptoms of an allergic reaction, which may include itching, rash, or difficulty breathing. If you have signs of pancreatitis, such as severe stomach pain that will not go away and may move to your back, with or without vomiting. Or if you have symptoms of thyroid cancer, which include a lump or swelling in your neck, hoarseness, trouble swallowing, or shortness of breath. Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medicines you're taking. And if you're nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Taking Tanzium with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases your risk for low blood sugar. Common side effects with Tanzium include diarrhea, nausea, injection site reactions, cough, back pain, and cold or flu symptoms. Some serious side effects can lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney failure. Ask your doctor if adding once-a-week Tanzium is right for you. Go to Tanzium.com to learn if you may be eligible to receive Tanzium free for 12 months. Make every week a Tanzium week.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 79. Winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy intervals. Low 70. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Monday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High 81. Winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back to Weekend Recharge. We're still tracking some thunderstorms on this Sunday morning, already going across areas in Minnesota as well as Iowa, pushing into Illinois as well. Again, these thunderstorms, lightning popping up with these systems, these storms just to the north and northwest of the Twin Cities. We're also watching storms racing on towards the Mississippi River Valley here, well east in eastern Iowa, pushing into northwestern and extreme northern areas of Illinois. Eventually, still can't rule out some of these showers holding together for Chicago. We'll put our model in motion starting right now at 11 o'clock, pushing eastward. A few scattered showers moving on towards Madison, even Milwaukee. But later in this afternoon, model not showing a whole lot here, but trust me, we will start firing things up. We'll see more isolated, strong, and severe thunderstorms, too, as we head on towards the afternoon and evening hours as well. Even St. Louis can't rule out some storms there, but tomorrow we fire up an area a little farther on towards the south. So Chicago, Milwaukee, a better chance of seeing more severe weather as we head towards tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening as well. It also stretch back towards St. Louis and Kansas City. So again, the forecast for today from the UP of Michigan, stretching back through Wisconsin, Des Moines, even on towards Omaha and Goodland for severe weather. And then we head on towards tomorrow. We're pushing this as far east as Toledo, back through Indianapolis, Chicago, St. Louis, Kansas City. And again, we already have some torcons up in many areas where torcons are already at 3 as we head on towards tomorrow for parts of the plains and even back towards Texas and the panhandles.
Good to know. I have a question for you, though.
Yes.
You ever get lost in a cloud?
Often.
I
Working
bet
with
you.
you. I'm always
I
up in the
bet you
clouds.
have. Well, you're not alone. They are not only magnificent, but they are full of meaning.
In fact, clouds are a passion of our next guest. And with this new segment on Weekend Recharge, we hope to make clouds a passion for all you viewers as well.
Yeah, joining us now is Gavin Pretor-Pinney, founder of the Cloud Appreciation Society. Sir, good morning to you. We've been looking forward to this interview. I must tell you, we're so excited. But first, tell us a little bit about the society and how it came to be.
Sure. So I started the society 10 years ago, and it's got 38,000 members now in 94 countries. And they're all united, Maria, in the belief that clouds are the most dynamic, evocative, and poetic aspect of nature. And when you become a member, you get a certificate, you get a pin, and members send in their photographs of clouds from all over the world.
And Gavin, you also have a cloud of the month. So what cloud did you pick for this month of May?
Well, every month we pick a favorite one, and the one for May is a formation known as a full streak hole.
All right, these always get our viewers buzzing. Tell us how one forms.
Well, firstly, I'll tell you a little bit how it looks. I mean, it's like someone's taken an enormous cookie cutter and cut out an enormous hole out of a layer of cloud. Some people call them hole punch clouds. So often you see a streak of cloud hanging down below the hole. And there is a fascinating explanation as to why it forms. Right, the water droplets up in the cloud are supercooled, which means that they're liquid droplets, even though the temperature up there is well below freezing. The thing is that cloud droplets can refuse to freeze until they come into contact with something solid. All right, and this can set off a chain reaction. And there's a really beautiful, neat demonstration that you to show this chain reaction of freezing. You need to start with a bucket and a bunch of ice and some salt and some bottles of really pure water. So you might want mineral water or distilled water. You pour the salt into the bucket, you put the water bottles in there, and you find that that salt will take the temperature down. You could put a thermometer in the bucket as well, and that will take the temperature down well below freezing. The salt will. Maybe when I did this before, it was -8 Celsius, which is what, 18 Fahrenheit, something like that. 20 minutes later, you'll find the water will have cooled down to that temperature, and if it was really pure, it will have stayed liquid in a supercooled liquid state. Now, what you do is you take a tiny shaving of ice from your freezer and you just drop it in. And you'll see the ice should freeze in one go. Hopefully, if it's worked, if it's pure enough, freeze in one go. It's an amazing sight. And you've created in your kitchen there, all right, the exact same chain reaction of freezing that gives rise to this full streak hole cloud, all right? Up in the cloud, it starts freezing in one place, perhaps as some ice crystals fall from a cloud above, and this sets off a kind of chain reaction of spreading. And so next time you see a cloud like the May cloud of the month, the full streak hole, you'll know how it forms.
That is fantastic.
Woo! You knocked our socks off,
Yes.
Gavin. That was so fun.
Gavin Pretor-Penny, the founder of the Cloud Appreciation Society. Thanks so much for joining us this Sunday morning and showing us got a demo you can do at home.
The wow of weather. We'll be right back.
Now at Boston Market, new slow braised pulled pork. So tender, it falls apart. Topped with zesty barbecue or garlic citrus sauce. A bold new taste from the slow roasting experts at Boston Market.
6 smoky hours, 1 tasty dish. Slow braised pulled pork, now at Boston Market.
Why do we do it? Why do we spend every waking moment thinking about people? Why are we so committed to keeping you connected? Why combine performance with a conscience? Why innovate for a future without accidents? Why do any of it? Why do all of it? Because if it matters to you, it's everything to us. The XC60 crossover from Volvo.
Your heart is precious. One of many ways to support its health is new True Heart from One A Day. It's the only heart health supplement with ingredients to both help lower bad cholesterol and support healthy blood pressure, and also includes CoQ10. Try new True Heart.
This allergy season, will you be a sound sleeper or a mouth breather? We'll put on a Breathe Right strip and instantly open your nose up to 38% more than allergy medicines alone, so you can breathe and sleep. Shut your mouth and sleep right. Breathe Right.
How average shirts handle the heat. How Duluth Trading Armachillo shirts handle the heat. Duluth Armachillo shirts with torso cooling technology. Crank the cold. Get one. Only at DuluthTrading.com.
The Weather Channel's most watched original program,
And it just hit us,
is back.
This is just the beginning of what's to come.
Mom and Dad told us they had just made their funeral and burial prearrangements. We thought they already had taken care of that. When we learned it was through Beth Israel and Eternal Light, we knew everything would be handled in the most caring and professional way. We realized it would be one of the most difficult days of our lives. It inspired my husband and me to make our own prearrangements so the burden wouldn't fall on our children when that day comes. It's not an easy thing to think about, but I'm so glad we did.
Welcome to Strength and Performance from Cub Cadet, the proven innovator of award-winning zero-turn riders. Welcome to efficient zero-turn performance with the ease of steering wheel control and an advanced cutting system, delivering beautiful results every time. Welcome to Strongsville. Experience the strongest lineup of zero turns in the business. Visit your local Cub Cadet dealer today, where you'll find exceptional financing for a limited time.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 79. Winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy intervals. Low 70. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Monday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High 81. Winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Hey, welcome back to Weekend Recharge on this Sunday. It is amazing out there. Just makes you giggle sometimes.
It sure does. It giddy with delight here. You got St. Augustine, Florida, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Morehead City, North Carolina, Virginia Beach, Virginia. One thing in common. Well, actually, more than one thing. They're coastal and they're sunny right now.
But most are beaches, too.
Yeah, and we are also keeping an eye on them because they could be feeling the impacts of a little something that we're keeping an eye on. Yeah, tropics.
Yeah, so get out there and enjoy. I know places like Virginia Beach had a rough Friday with that coastal low. Again, enjoy today. It was much better than yesterday. And Tomorrow also nice as well, but as you're going to tell us, there's something we're watching that eventually could bring all this gorgeous weather in some areas to a crashing halt.
Yeah, you know, it's 'tis the season. Got a couple of things we want to point out and highlight as we watch the trouble for the southeast coast, and trouble meaning tropics, something tropical developing. And yesterday we kind of showed you from top down all the factors going into what could be leading to some tropical development. We started way upstairs, the jet stream level, where the aircraft fly, and you look at the speed of the winds. Tropical development, favorable for it is when the winds are not as strong. That cuts down on the shear. Looks like the models are trying to make it a little bit stronger in the upper level, but there are other factors too. We take a step down, and in the mid levels, you're looking for an area of low pressure, and where you're seeing the colors here, that's indicating some spin. So yeah, it looks like we have an upper level low moving in closer to the southeast coast come Friday. Now we go to the surface, and it's reflected on the surface too. So developing low pressure at the surface. So you stack it up, and it looks like, yes, there could be something tropical there. Another factor, of course, anytime during the tropical season, you look at the water temperatures, the sea surface temperatures, and right now they're pretty warm. In fact, above average in this spot where we're looking at further development into the upper 70s, and they're above average by a few degrees. So that's something to consider. And now we're watching the current status here. We have through early next week this boundary, a front, plenty of moisture along with it, tropical moisture. Sometimes, especially early, late in the season, you get a little ripple along that boundary, and that turns into an area of low pressure. We think that's going to happen, move off to the north. And this is where the models have slightly different versions of what may be happening. And one is weaker, one's a little bit stronger and closer into the coast. With that in mind, a couple things that we know that pretty much are going to be something that's happening. And it's the coastal winds, and that's going to drive wave action. It's going to drive the risk for rip currents. And right now we look towards midweek, and there's going to be an area along with that spin, whether it's tropical or subtropical, or official or not, of 20 miles per hour or greater. And then you see through Thursday and into Friday, it's going to get pretty brisk here. And those winds are going to reach the coast and perhaps inland as well. So we're talking from Savannah to Myrtle Beach, the Outer Banks also in play. And again, regardless of whether it's an officially tropical system, you've got that rip current risk, high surf risk as well. So Charleston, one of the cities we'll keep an eye on. Otherwise, between now and then, you have a nice stretch of weather. Time now to think about a plan. Prepare yourself. And if you are looking ahead to what it may be called, this is the list for the 2015 storm names. First on the list will be Anna, if it is named. In fact, the National Hurricane Center has outlooked that area for further development.
This program brought to you by John Deere. Nothing runs like a deer.
You wouldn't buy a car without taking it for a spin. And it's, well, just a car. Test drive our full lineup, only at your local John Deere dealer.
Our oath isn't an empty gesture. It's the heart and soul of Terminix Nation. The Terminix Ultimate Protection Guarantee. A vow that we kill every termite in your home. Not here, not now, not in my house. Terminix.
They may claim good performance, but typically cordless vacuums deliver weak suction. The issue originates here. To make their vacuum smaller, most others make their motors smaller and less powerful. But at Dyson, we've invented the small but powerful V6 digital motor, spinning at up to 110,000 RPM, giving our latest cordless vacuums twice the suction of all others.
Think your tropical vacation can't get any better than this? Xperio UV superior polarized sun lenses eliminate 100% of blinding reflective glare and offer the maximum UV protection. Ask for Xperio UV superior polarized sun lenses for the best vision under the sun.
Making a fist. Something we do to show resolve, to defend ourselves, to declare victory.
That's how you do it.
So CVS Health provides expert support and vital medicine
Make a fist for me?
at our infusion centers or in patients' homes. We help them fight the good fight. CVS Health, because health is everything.
We know you can't control the weather.
That's looking good.
So we build things to harness it.
That's awesome.
They hit the water. Game on.
Up here in Southeast Alaska, Coast Guard's last line of defense.
This is about how far you can push yourself.
There's been a lot of shaking going on across parts of Texas this morning, and it was an earthquake causing some of it.
Yeah, the USGS upgrading this. It was initially 3.1. Now they're saying 3.2, centered around Irving, Texas, around 2 miles northeast of Irving, Texas. This is still kind of new, so we're not hearing any reports of any damage. But Los Angeles also talking about the one that happened there earlier this morning.
Yeah, 3.9 there. A lot of people are saying this actually woke them up. It occurred around 4 o'clock local time there on the West Coast. And people in West Coast used to shaking, but sometimes if it lasts long enough, you can actually be woken up. And you know, you always wonder in California, okay, is this the beginning of the big one? Because some start violently, many start weak and then get stronger very quickly.
And the one yesterday in Michigan, right? There was one in Michigan, I want to say 4.7 or 4.6 along there, but got people feeling it in Chicago. So interesting. We'll keep you up to date on all of that.
Yeah, definitely some wows of what's going on the ground. But what about above our heads? Check out this view from Astro Terry. It's astronaut Terry Virts. It's his Vine video, quick 7-second video of sunrise as he viewed from the International Space Station.
And always fun to see it from that vantage point. But we also like to bring it back down to Earth, the ground level, because some pretty spectacular sunrises here back home as well. And we'll include that in the wonder of weather. I always love checking the National Park webcams, and the Great Smoky Mountain National Park is one of my favorites. So I checked it out and caught this sunrise, and it looks like fireworks going off, I think.
You snap that picture there, these little kind of sun streaks are going on through the lens, and looks gorgeous there. Also, let's take you to the beach, into South Palm here in Florida, and that's it's Clam? Who is it?
Ed the Clam.
Ed the Clam. You guys are first name basis.
I guess so.
Yeah,
yeah. He's got great pictures. South Palm, Florida says good morning, as well as Jacksonville, North Carolina. The sky's on fire.
Yeah, a little sunrise there, and that's definitely much better sunrise than you had earlier in the week on Friday with that coastal low out there. It was cold, damp, and just dreary, looking for the sun. We definitely found it across much of the eastern half of the U.S. this weekend.
Yeah, so if you see a great sunrise, don't hesitate. Hashtag it's amazing out there.
Or even sunsets. We're not.
Or sunsets.
You know,
we're all about it. Sunrise, sunset, and everything in between.
That's right. And thanks for waking up and recharging with us on Weekend Recharge.
Weather Geeks is up next on the Weather Channel. NASA, synonymous with space exploration.
But today, Dr. Marshall Shepard looks at NASA's mission to study the Earth. Weather Geeks begins in about 1 minute and 35 seconds.
So in the meantime, we leave you on this beautiful Sunday morning, now into the afternoon in New York City. Looks gorgeous. Times Square packed with
Heading
people.
back to the 70s today. Enjoy spring in Manhattan.
Weather Geeks up next.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 79. Winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy intervals. Low 70. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Monday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High 81. Winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome to Weather Geeks. I am joined today by Dr. Scott Brown. He is actually a former colleague of mine at NASA Goddard Space Flight Center. He's also the TRIM project scientist, and you'll know by the end of the show what that means. Thank you for joining us.
I'm glad to be here.
So, yeah, the Tropical Rainfall Measuring Mission, or TRIM, is a mission that we're both familiar with. I actually worked some with it when I was at NASA as well. Tell us a little bit about what that satellite mission is all about.
Well, TRIM was a mission designed to measure rainfall across the tropics and to measure some of the temporal variations in precipitation, from anywhere from diurnal precipitation to, in the end, after almost 17-and-a-half-year mission, interannual variation. So it was a very successful mission in being able to do that.
Yeah, so, you know, for the viewers out there, some of which probably are more familiar than others, why in the heck would we spend money launching a satellite to measure rainfall in the tropics? I mean, why is that important for weather, climate, flood prediction?
Well, here in the U.S., we're rather lucky in that we have a great radar network across the nation, so that we can track rainfall pretty well. You know, most of the rest of the world doesn't, you know, other than Europe, doesn't have a great radar network. We rely on satellites that often are only looking at cloud tops rather than rainfall. Prior to the TRIM mission, I think the errors in the rainfall measurements over the tropics were on the order of 100%.
Right. So we were basically almost guessing in some ways.
Not quite. It was very educated guess. But by the end of the TRIM mission, those errors went from 100% to less than 10%. You know, so we really defined rainfall across the whole tropics.
Right. But I want to get to, I mean, you know, a couple of things here. First of all, how is it done? I mean, how are we measuring rainfall from a satellite in space?
Well, we have two main instruments used to measure rainfall. One is a microwave imager. It's basically measuring the microwave energy emitted from liquid water or scattered by ice, and we can relate that those microwave signals to the precipitation structure. You know, consider from like a GOES satellite image, what you're seeing is the cloud tops. The microwave imager basically gives you a view inside, beneath those cloud tops, much like an X-ray of a storm, so you can really see the structure. So that's one of the ways that we're able to do it. The other is fairly conventional in the sense that we have ground radars. TRIM had the first radar in space. And so it
first rain radar.
The first rain radar. Well, first radar in general. So it provided a three-dimensional view of precipitation, very much like a CAT scan of storms. So it was very valuable, and the radar was particularly valuable because it gave us a way of really calibrating the rainfall measurements from the microwave imager. And there were other microwave imagers on other satellites, but they're all slightly different. And TRIM, because of its high accuracy, really provided a calibration reference standard to be able to combine all those different measurements into a more unified rainfall product.
Yeah, and if you want to kind of have an understanding, Weather Geeks viewers, of what he's talking about with a microwave, just take a bowl of water and pop it in your microwave, turn it on and see what happens, and take a piece of ice out of your freezer and do the same. You'll see some different interactions, and we use those basic physics principles to try to measure rainfall because they have scattering and absorption that's very different. Now, TRIM's kind of on its last legs, right? What's the current status?
Well, you know, TRIM's been in space for 17-and-a-half years, just about. Unfortunately, last summer it ran out of fuel. The fuel was used to keep it at a fairly constant altitude. It was gradually descending over time, and beginning of April, around April 8th, we shut down the final instruments, and then April 15th, they shut down all the remaining spacecraft systems in preparation for re-entry later this summer.
Now, this mission was very valuable because not only did it have a research mission, I know that like NOAA, the Hurricane Center, and others utilize this data for things like Hurricane Center fixes. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, in the end, it had a large number of applications. The hurricane application was one of the most important ones, I think. The microwave imagery allows you to see beneath the cloud top so that you can really pinpoint where the center of a storm is. Typically, in an average year, we get on the order of 500 center fixes a year from the TRIM data set. And so it was very valuable for that reason. It also provided rainfall structure information that sometimes can be related to intensity change within storms. But even beyond hurricanes, it proved to be very valuable for flood and landslide forecasting, drought monitoring, applications for disease tracking, agriculture, water resources. So a number of different applications that were developed over the years.
Now, this next mission that follows on the TRIM, I actually have some familiarity with that as well, serving as the Deputy Project Scientist. The Global Precipitation Measurement Mission, or GPM. Tell us a little bit about that, because that's in orbit now. It launched last year, and that's going to pick up where TRMM left off, but it actually has some new capabilities, right?
Yeah, so GPM launched in February 2014. We have about a year of overlap between TRMM and GPM, which is very valuable to have. The nice thing about GPM is it advances upon TRMM in two different ways. TRMM's orbit was confined to 35 north and south latitude.
So the tropics mostly.
Basically the tropics.
Yeah.
GPM extends up to 65 south to 65 north. So you're basically going from the Antarctic to the Arctic circles.
Right.
So you're measuring now mid-latitude precipitation and some high-latitude precipitation. You're able to do things like following tropical cyclones from the tropics up into mid-latitudes, where they often then move across the ocean and can affect places like England and so on in the Atlantic, and North Pacific storms can often affect U.S. weather.
Right.
So it gives us a way of tracking those disturbances as they move up into higher latitudes.
And I saw some really amazing global rainfall maps that NASA recently released. I believe it was from a product called the iMERGE. It's just a fancy acronym, but you're mapping global rainfall.
Right.
How is that useful? I mean, what's the so what factor for the public?
Well, the real advantage of it is with these products, you're getting rainfall products, fairly high spatial resolution, and with the new iMERGE product, it's on a half-hourly time scale. So you're able to map out precipitation totals for storms all across the globe. Imagine you've got a tropical cyclone hitting the Philippines, and you want to know, well, where did the heaviest rain fall, particularly if it has the potential for generating floods. And by having that high temporal resolution, you can get much more accurate rainfall accumulations, which is very valuable. And the same is true for mid-latitude weather systems and a variety of weather systems.
Right. Now, we're going to come back with you a little later in the show, but after the break, we're going to talk with another researcher that uses NASA TRMM and GPM data. But first, our Geek of the Week.
Joe Whitty is a consulting broadcast meteorologist for Goddard Space Flight Center. Joe started his career as a glaciologist for the USGS and then spent decades as a well-known and well-respected broadcast meteorologist. Joe loves snowstorms, big and small, and recalls skiing down New York City's Fifth Avenue to get to work during the 1996 blizzard. And when he's not geeking out on the weather, Joe remains active outdoors. One of his favorite activities is mountain climbing. Joe Whitty, our Geek of the Week.
Introducing new Flonase Allergy Relief Nasal Spray. This changes everything. New Flonase outperforms a leading allergy pill, so you will inhale life. When we breathe in allergens, our bodies react by overproducing 6 key inflammatory substances that cause our symptoms. Most allergy pills only control one substance. Flonase controls 6, and 6 is greater than 1. So roll down your windows, hug your pet, dust off some memories, make new ones. New Flonase. 6 is greater than 1. This changes everything.
Today, I'm going to fight hunger. Today, I don't want to be hungry. We just have to buy food. My family gets the food we need. I'm so glad we could help. I'm so glad someone helped.
Hunger lives closer than you think. Purchase participating items at Walmart, and you can help secure a meal for someone through Feeding America food banks.
All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. We love to see your pictures, and every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well right here on AMHQ.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 79. Winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy intervals. Low 70. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Monday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High 81. Winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The Weather Channel's most watched original program.
And it just hit us.
Is back.
This is just the beginning of what's to come.
True Green presents The Yardleys.
Sorry.
This is more than a lawn. This is a True Green lawn. Live life outside with True Green, America's #1 lawn care company. Spring is on. Start your True Green lawn plan today. True Green, live life outside.
So nice, so nice. Sweet, sweet St. Thomas, nice. So nice, so nice. St. Cry full of pure vibes. So nice, so nice. St. John a real paradise. So nice, so proud to be from the Virgin Islands and the whole place nice.
To experience your Virgin Islands nice, book one of our packages today.
Your heart is precious. One of many ways to support its health is new True Heart from One A Day. It's the only heart health supplement with ingredients to both help lower bad cholesterol and support healthy blood pressure, and also includes CoQ10. Try new True Heart.
And we are back on Weather Geeks, and I'm now joined by Dr. Jeffrey Halverson from the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, a full professor of geography there, and also a former colleague at NASA. Jeff, thank you for coming on.
Good to be back with you.
And by the way, many of you may recognize Jeff also. He writes for Capital Weather Gang and also WeatherWise, so he's quite well versed in weather. Now, Jeff, you've used TRMM data and been involved. I know you're the former TRMM outreach scientist as well. You worked with the first project scientist for TRMM, Dr. Joanne Simpson, a legend in our field, and you guys were looking at something called hot towers. These are inside of hurricanes. Tell us a little bit about that work and what we learn about hurricanes from
That's very exciting work, actually. And by the way, it was absolutely fascinating working with Joanne, who was the first woman to ever get her PhD in meteorology. So this is just a fabulous human being to be around. So these hot towers are these clusters of very intense thunderstorms that some hurricanes develop, these others don't. And so we were wondering, when we see these big releases of energy going on near the center, was this a forewarning that the storm was about to undergo a rapid intensification period? Because think about all the heat energy you're releasing it into the core, the storm's got to respond to something like that. Well, we were starting to look at are there statistical correlations between the two, and we did find that. The taller the tower, the longer it lasted, the more likely it was to intensify.
Let's get real geeky here for a second, because people may not understand what's the fuel supply for a hurricane, because we've often described a hurricane as like a big heat engine.
Yeah,
so,
well, you know, that's a great analogy, Marshall, and I use it in my classes all the time. It's like the engine under the hood in your car uses fuel, and that fuel gets combusted and heat's released and the engine does work. With a hurricane, the fuel is water vapor, and this water vapor is coming off the ocean, it's evaporating, and so the ocean's the fuel tank, and this water vapor condenses inside these giant thunder clouds. No, that's where the heat engine analogy is, because all this heat comes out, and eventually that heat energy is translated into kinetic energy of the rotating winds.
Exactly. And a little bit later, I'm going to bring Scott back, and I want to talk about the sort of challenges with forecasting intensity versus track. I know both of you have been involved in some field campaigns using the Global Hawk and others. We'll talk about that later. I want to pick your brain on some recent articles coming out of the Capital Weather Gang about hurricanes. You know, we've been in these big droughts, 9-10 years since parts of Florida has seen a major landfalling storm. What are your thoughts on this drought, El Nino and hurricanes, complacency? I want to pick your brain because I know you can think and talk about a lot of topics.
There's a lot of controversy surrounding examination of cycles and which of these cycles might be natural versus which might be anthropogenic or human caused. What I can tell you is that you got to be very careful when we talk about hurricane drought. There's what we call hurricane amnesia. The psychology of complacency. Just because your location doesn't get hit for several years doesn't mean it's not going to happen. We were in this very quiet period in the 70s and 80s when there was not a lot of hurricanes. 1992. All it takes is one big storm, right? And so we can't let our guard down. Now, whether this is due to the current natural cycle, which lasts 20, 30 years, whether it's winding down, whether it's other things, who knows? But the danger here is not to let our guard down.
Jeff, as a top hurricane expert and also a valued communicator in our field, when it comes to weather and hurricanes specifically, or TRMM-related science, what do you find most fascinating about what we've gotten from TRMM or what we will get from GPM?
You know, there are so many unanswered questions about meteorology, and we look at these really big storms like hurricanes. Why do so few of these storms develop on Earth? If they're this important in terms of the heat budget of the planet, in terms of being heat engines, why do we only average 80 or 90 of these a year? Now, that's fortunate, right? But that's one of the big unanswered questions. How do these things form? Where don't they form?
Yeah, that's a great. And we're going to bring Dr. Brown back in the next segment. And along with Dr. Halverson, we're going to look at the upcoming hurricane season and talk about some of the challenges ahead with hurricane forecasting next on Weather Geeks.
My budget was always second-guessing me when I'd buy stuff for the family. Fingerhut. 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 At Fingerhut.com, we can shop with low monthly payments. Over 200,000 items and growing from brands like Samsung, Lego, and KitchenAid. Just click on over to Fingerhut.com to get the credit you deserve and great stuff for your family. Oh, not Fingerhut. I got that at a garage sale. For $1.
Advanced Design makes it easy to protect your dog or cat from fleas and ticks. Discover Seresto. With the performance you expect from topicals in a non-greasy collar, Seresto provides protection against fleas and ticks for 8 months. Seresto.
Hey, pal. You ready? Can you pick me up at 6:30?
I'm here.
Too late.
I'll go for 5 minutes. Move it! Killing me! You know what, Dad? I'm good.
It may be quite a while before he's ready, but our Subaru Legacy will be waiting for him.
The longest-lasting midsize sedan in its class, the 2015 Subaru Legacy. It's not just a sedan, it's a Subaru.
If you suffer from a dry mouth, then you'll know how uncomfortable it can be. But did you know that the lack of saliva can also lead to tooth decay and bad breath? Well, there's Biotene. Specially formulated with moisturizers and lubricants. Biotene can provide soothing relief, and it helps keep your mouth healthy too. Biotene, for people who suffer from a dry mouth.
Monday morning, a deeper look at the weather, timing, and decision-making that ultimately led to the sailing tragedy in Mobile Bay. Wake up with Al and AMHQ, Monday morning at 5, only on the Weather Channel.
All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. We love to see your pictures, and every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well right here on AMHQ.
Strong. It comes from a place where raw strength is just a starting point. Where doing something means doing it right. Where unrivaled dependability is backed by the strongest warranty in the business. And the only job is a job well done. Welcome to Strongsville. Experience Cub Cadet Strong with the new XT Enduro Series. Find exceptional financing and a dealer near you.
Xfinity sales professionals are always on the go, meeting new people every day. They're helping families get the latest Xfinity products and services. And they're making customers happy. Jumpstart your career with the best sales training in the industry. Great benefits like discounts on your own Xfinity services and the potential for high earnings. Have what it takes? Apply today and see what doors open for you.
Today, the Weather Channel's most watched original program,
And it just hit us.
is back.
This is just the beginning of what's to come.
know you can't control the weather. That's looking good. So we build things to harness it. That's awesome. They hit the water, game on. Up here in Southeast Alaska, Coast Guard's glass lineup at Ben's.
This is about how far you can push yourself.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 80, winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 70, winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Monday, intervals of clouds and sunshine, high 81, winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
And we are back now with both colleagues from the NASA and University of Maryland, Baltimore County. And, you know, we're a little under a month from hurricane season. Scott, I know you've done a lot of research. A lot of your personal research has been in hurricane modeling and understanding intensity of hurricanes. You PI'd a major NASA mission trying to understand aspects of hurricane intensification. Why do forecasts for intensity lag forecasts for track? I know we've made some advances over the years in track.
And the way I view it is that track is really governed by the large-scale steering flows, and those larger scales tend to be easier to observe and easier to predict. The intensity problem varies from those same large scales all the way down to the scales of individual clouds. So you're dealing with a wide range of scales. Those smaller scales are harder to predict.
That's a great point, and I want to follow up because I know GPM will pick up in some regards where Trim left off in helping us monitor hurricanes and tropical systems, and as well as other types. But there are some technological differences that you wanted to point out.
Yeah, I didn't mention it earlier, but the other really major advances with GPM is it has a more advanced microwave imager, an additional four channels that measure or are more sensitive to light, rain, and snow. And then it also has a more advanced radar. So instead of a single frequency radar, it has a dual frequency radar. And that dual frequency radar gives you higher sensitivity. It also allows you to start estimating things like the distribution of drop sizes within the precipitation. So it has a lot of extra value compared to Trim.
Yeah, now, Jeff, you know, I'm going to ask you this as a fellow academic, maybe a safer question than our colleague Scott Brown. You know, there's a lot of talk now about why in the world NASA's even studying Earth sciences. I mean, shouldn't we be studying Mars, or don't they launch things on other planets? Well, you know, I would suggest that we better understand this planet first. What are your thoughts? Because I'm hearing some challenges in terms of NASA Earth sciences budget.
Well, it's unfortunate. I mean, NASA has done things with technology that no other agency on Earth has done. They innovate, they put this new technology out there. NASA has got this sensor web surrounding the entire planet right now. Now, the operational agencies have satellites up as well. But in
Which
terms
NASA probably has something to do with in some regard.
Yes, but in terms of complete coverage of the globe, you know, it's important to send ships to other planets in the solar system and exoplanets and beyond. But if you don't understand the physical processes of your own home system, that is going to provide so much information about how we interpret the findings that these other spacecraft are bringing back. There are so many fundamental things we don't even understand about the Earth system to start with, and why not study this planet?
Yeah, I don't have a vacation planet to hop to for the weekend, so we better protect this one. But Scott, let's get back to Trim and GPM a little bit. I mean, you know, it's been up for a year, GPM. What's next? What do we really expect that GPM is going to provide that perhaps Trim kind of couldn't, or just ran out of time to do?
Well, I think GPM will allow us to get more accurate rainfall, particularly in areas where Trim was sort of challenged. There are certain areas of the globe where the errors associated with Trim, like when we compare the microwave imager to the radar, there would be differences in the precipitation estimates. And I think the dual frequency radar on GPM will help us to understand some of the physical processes occurring within these precipitation systems that might help us to correct some of those errors and get a more accurate rainfall. Another advantage is going to be that with GPM, you know, it was designed for 3 years, enough fuel for 5, but they launched sort of going into the next solar minimum. So right now, it looks like that fuel can last 10 to 12 years. By the time GPM is done, when you combine it with Trim, you're looking at potentially a 27 to 30-year precipitation data record. So not only are you looking at things on the scale of diurnal cycle, you can be going up to interannual and even multi-decadal by the end of it.
Jeff, what are you thinking about next for Capital Weather Gang or Weatherwise? Anything brewing that we need to know about?
Well, I would just say that Capital Weather Gang really provides a great place to come if you're a weather enthusiast living in the Washington-Baltimore area, and not just the forecast, but why.
Yeah,
understanding the nuts and bolts of meteorology, and the live blog allows you to come in, ask questions, and a real degree meteorologist is going to answer those questions right there with you.
Yeah, and we appreciate Capital Weather Gang. Shout out to those folks, and thank you both for joining us. Join us on Twitter or Facebook to add more on Weather Geeks.
We all enter this world with a shout. And we see no reason to stop. So CVS Health is creating industry-leading programs and tools that help people stay on medicines as their doctors prescribed. It could help save tens of thousands of lives every year. And that would be something worth shouting about. CVS Health, because health is everything.
Thank you for being a sailor and my daddy. Thank you, Mom, for protecting my future.
Thank you for being my hero and my dad.
Military families are thankful for many things. The legacy of USAA Auto Insurance could be one of them. Our world-class service earned USAA the top spot in a study of the most recommended large companies in America. If you're current or former military or their family, see if you're eligible to get an auto insurance quote.
Why do we do it? Why do we spend every waking moment thinking about people? Why are we so committed to keeping you connected? Why combine performance with a conscience? Why innovate for a future without accidents? Why do any of it? Why do all of it? Because if it matters to you, it's everything to us. The XC60 crossover from Volvo.
We have a big brood
with a lot of mouths to feed.
Fortunately, PetSmart has a wide assortment of foods for us to choose from.
Zach is our best sleeper.
Bitsy has a little bit of a sensitive stomach.
Bitsy likes a fairy tale before bed. Do you have any types of food for dogs who are afraid of spiders? Austin likes a story that's more realistic. And do you have anything for dogs who are so lazy?
PetSmart has great deals on your favorite food brands, backed by an unbeatable price guarantee. Because pethood's better with a partner.
Your relationship with your dog is pure. It's innocent. It's work, but it's perfect. You wouldn't trade it for the world. So protect your dog with Trifexis. Trifexis is the monthly beef-flavored tablet that prevents heartworm disease, kills fleas, and prevents infestations, and treats and controls hook, round, and whipworm infections. Treatment with fewer than 3 monthly doses after exposure to mosquitoes may not provide complete heartworm prevention. The most common adverse reactions were vomiting, depression, and itching. Serious adverse reactions have been reported following concurrent extra-label use of ivermectin with spinosad, one of the components of Trifexis. Prior to administration, dogs should be tested for existing heartworm infection. You'll take it all, the good and the bad, because that's what makes your relationship irreplaceable. Protect your dog all year long with the 3-in-1 power of Trifexis. Available by prescription only. Talk to your veterinarian about how to protect every second you share together.
We have a tornado on the ground. It's moving.
We know you can't control the weather. That's looking good. So we build things to harness it. That's awesome.
They hit the water. Game on.
Up here in Southeast Alaska, Coast Guard's last line up defense.
This is about how far you can push yourself.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 80, winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 70, winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Monday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High 81, winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It's a matter of
seconds, your life can change.
We had kids still into school.
And it just hit us.
This was it.
The Weather Channel's most watched original program is back.
Things are just going everywhere. It was a nightmare.
And then it was silent.
This is just the beginning of what's to come.
And Jim's here as well this morning.
We're all in this together.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
That was good.
And if you're watching AMHQ, then you know we got you up and out this morning. We love to see your pictures. All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well.
Coming up on Loaded.
Whoa, real slick. I just started to go sideways there.
A winter storm chases Ryan's convoy to the Alaska Highway.
Oh, she's spinning going around this curve.
Brenda duels lightning and rain south of the Windy City.
If I gotta slow it down, I slow it down, but I'm not stopping. Damn!
And Joe takes a dangerous drive through California's steepest and most treacherous paths.
If there's an accident, you're not gonna see it.
Every minute of the day, truckers are hauling valuable cargo through North America in every kind of weather.
I feel scared of now, no way.
Speed is everything. More miles means more money.
Joe goes where the dough flows.
Which trucker will make the most? Each week, truckers all over North America bumper traffic and unforgiving deadlines to keep their wheels rolling and the money flowing. Any obstacle can result in a hit to the trucker's bottom line. To be the best paid trucker of the week, West Coast trucker Joe has agreed to drive a load of luxury spas from the Southern California coastline, 1,105 miles northeast, to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. The job pays $2,050 if Joe can deliver before the office closes tomorrow night.
I'd like to get well into Nevada, maybe a little further.
With such a long haul, Joe can't afford any major delays, but he's already in trouble. As Joe leaves the coast and heads inland toward the Sacramento Valley, California's winter weather shows a dark side.
Visibility looks like it's dropping.
Joe has run into a blinding wall of tule fog. In winter, cold air from the Sierra Nevadas sinks into California's 450-mile-long Central Valley, where it mixes with moisture from the wetlands, creating ground fog.
I have a feeling it's going to get denser and even harder to see.
The fog in the Central Valley is putting Joe hours behind schedule. At this pace, he'll miss his deadline, but he's not willing to drive the speed limit in such dangerous conditions.
Only an idiot would be driving full speed. I'm down to maybe 40 miles an hour because I just don't want to run right into somebody. If there's an accident, you're not going to see it. They had one down in Texas. 145 people. Chain reaction crash on both sides of the freeway. The only defense you have is to just slow way down.
Just south of Chicago, Illinois, seasoned trucker Brenda is off to the races with a tractor filled with cardboard gift boxes to celebrate Christmas.
The thing that's getting me right now is that it's really, really windy.
Without enough weight on her tires, Brenda could tip.
20,000 pounds, that's nothing for the wind.
And even though the Windy City's 20 miles behind her, strong gusts in this open terrain are giving Brenda a run for her money.
You wonder if you'll be able to keep it on the road sometime when it's windy. Oh, Lord, please keep me safe out here.
To bring home a big paycheck this week, Brenda must drive 926 miles through America's heartland to New Orleans. And she'll only have 25 hours to do it. Having survived a dangerous haul through Hurricane Sandy,
ooh, talking about somebody scared, okay?
Brenda has a special interest in her new destination.
They got hit with Katrina, and it was a major hurricane. Just totally wiped out New Orleans. And so I'm curious to see what it looks like now after all those years and all that damage it did.
But before Brenda can visit ghosts of storms past, she'll have to make it through a storm barreling towards her front windshield.
Real funky looking, like you're going to just open up and let it all out.
Up in Alberta, Canada, 29-year-old Ryan is also racing the clock and fighting the weather.
Winter weather in Alberta is fierce, it's unpredictable, and if you let your guard down, it'll kick you in the neck.
Ryan's heading 100 miles to Red Deer, Alberta to load 25,000 pounds of hardware supplies. Then he'll join a convoy to drive 461 miles to the far north, where the Alaska Highway begins in Dawson Creek, British Columbia. But before he even gets to Red Deer, the weather turns ugly.
All of a sudden it starts to rain. Cold enough out, it's freezing rain. Keep trucking along and see what Alberta weather throws at us. Can't predict this.
If the convoy can't deliver before midnight, Ryan will be fined, and he'll lose the job next time hardware is heading north.
Limited visibility out here, snowing hard. Whoa. She's slippery. I just spun out as I turned the corner. Hopefully make her up the other side without oh, she's spinning going around this curve. She's a little icy.
Back in Illinois, a low-pressure system has ushered in a nasty rainstorm that has darkened the sky and is threatening to slow down Brenda's load.
If I got to slow it down, I slow it down, but I'm not stopping. I got to keep it moving because I got a load to deliver. The first 10 minutes of rain is the worst time to drive. I think I'm more scared then. You hit those brakes just a little bit too hard, and that's it. That's all she wrote. Crash and boom, or jackknife, or gripping onto the steering wheel, but I got to get this load there.
The rain is showing no sign of letting up, but with no way to extend her deadline, Brenda has to make it through the storm. After a slow haul through the Thule fog, Joe's 2 hours behind schedule, but he's on the wrong stretch of road to close the gap.
It's starting to rain as I just start climbing the hill here. In the next hour and a half, I'll be up at over 7,000 feet.
Joe is ascending Donner's Pass, the historic link from California to all points east. It's a treacherous highway, feared by truckers for climbing 7,000 feet in under 72 miles. A record-setting grade that claims lives each year.
When you climb that high, the temperature drops, so a little bit of rain can turn into snow. It's a little early to expect throwing chains on the tires, but at that elevation, anything can happen. Temperature's dropping. Little bits of like slush are hitting the windshield. We're only 2 miles from Donner Summit. We're really getting into it now.
North of the border, freezing rain has turned to snow as the convoy assembles for its long haul north.
It's gonna be 950 miles of winter, white, snow, slop, slush, and
with business drying up close to home, Ryan's been forced to take the only load he can find, a convoy delivering hardware to northern Alberta. It's a risky run that's headed straight into a winter storm.
It's about teamwork out here.
You know, we got a heavy snowfall warning, just to keep us on our toes.
Where's the snowfall warning for? Everywhere?
Yeah, everywhere.
Minutes later, the convoy drives straight into a wall of white.
White out. As soon as the truck passes, you lose everything in front of you. Everybody's going to be putting along here like a dope until we get to Grand Prairie.
Yeah, you really got to watch it.
Whoa, real slick. I just started to go sideways there.
If you're an adult with type 2 diabetes and your A1C is not at goal with certain diabetes pills or daily insulin, your doctor may be talking about adding medication to help lower your A1C. Ask your doctor if adding once-a-week Tanzium is right for you. Once-a-week Tanzium is an injectable prescription medicine that may improve blood sugar in adults with type 2 diabetes, along with diet and exercise. Once-a-week Tanzium works by helping your body release its own natural insulin when it's needed. Tanzium is not recommended as the first medicine to treat diabetes or in people with severe stomach or intestinal problems. Tanzium is not insulin. It is not used to treat type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis and has not been studied with mealtime insulin. Do not take Tanzium if you or your family have a history of medullary thyroid cancer or multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you're allergic to Tanzium or any of its ingredients. Stop using Tanzium and call your doctor right away if you experience symptoms of an allergic reaction, which may include itching, rash, or difficulty breathing. If you have signs of pancreatitis, such as severe stomach pain that will not go away and may move to your back, with or without vomiting. Or if you have symptoms of thyroid cancer, which include a lump or swelling in your neck, hoarseness, trouble swallowing, or shortness of breath. Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medicines you're taking. And if you're nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Taking Tanzium with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases your risk for low blood sugar. Common side effects with Tanzium include diarrhea, nausea, injection site reactions, cough, back pain, and cold or flu symptoms. Some serious side effects can lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney failure. Ask your doctor if adding once a week Tanzium is right for you. Go to Tanzium.com to learn if you may be eligible to receive Tanzium free for 12 months. Make every week a Tanzium week.
The Weather Channel's most watched original program,
And it just hit us.
is back.
This is just the beginning of what's to come.
Ryan's convoy is heading north in a snowstorm, delivering hardware supplies to northern British Columbia.
Look at this guy. Stuck or what's he doing?
To make the midnight deadline, the convoy can't afford any surprises. But Ryan has one they can't resist. He just got engaged to his girlfriend, Danielle.
Congratulations is in order for Ryan. He proposed to Danny. Come on. Right on. Way to go.
Thank you, boys. Thank you. Drive along and I pulled over and then I dropped down to one knee on the side of the highway too there. I said, I love the highway like I love you. Will you marry me?
It's a good thing you put the highway first.
But this highway is in no mood for a late afternoon love affair.
Oh, now I got a snowplow in the hammer lane here. We're gonna have to slow down.
With the highway icing up and traffic slowing to a crawl, the convoy is almost 2,000 miles to the east. Brenda's driven 80 miles through heavy rains. And even though the sky is lightened up, Brenda's mood is getting darker.
Rain is nothing to play with.
But a truck racing Brenda is doing just that.
Now, why in the hell are you gonna let me catch your chicken and then speed up when I hop out in the hammer lane? You a little chicken. When a female passes a male trucker, their testosterone kicks in. And then they be like, I can't let that woman outdo me. And then they'll speed up on you. Being in the trucking world, being a lesbian, you know, it's not really, it's not a big thing. It's a bigger thing for the men. There's that again. I do not want to see a red truck again today.
Joe's made it 7,000 feet to Donner Summit,